Facebook theme page to over 4 figures per month, and people are starting to ask me what type of content produces the most money. Well, we're going to talk about that here today. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jason, the Blogging Rapper. Alright, so in this video, I want to talk to you about what type of content produces the most money, because people have been asking me about that, wondering how they can scale their Facebook page to over 4 figures per month, which is exactly what I've been doing. And I've been making money on my theme page for the last 6 months now. So I definitely have some experience and some skin in the game, although I do have to warn you, doing this for 6 months is still keeping me in the newbie territory. I'm still new at this. I'm still learning and experimenting. That's the whole premise of my current videos. This is really just documenting my journey so you can see the highs and lows. This is not where it's gonna end. I'm going to continue to scale. But as I do so, I want to teach you how to do the same thing. So now let's get back to it. I'm going to tell you exactly what type of content I've been posting so that you can understand what scales the most, what earns the most money per post. Now, before I get into that, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoy this type of content so that I could do more of it and teach you more of what I'm doing. And also hit that subscribe button and bell notification so that you can be updated when I post new videos talking more about this. If you want to scale your Facebook page, this is the place where you're going to learn how. Now that you're subscribed, let's get right into it. All right, so here we're taking a look at a theme page called Jesus Talks. This is a theme page that posts a lot of motivational quotes, which is within the Christian motivation niche space. So if this is something that you're interested in doing, you could take a few pages from what this page is doing and then also just kind of reverse engineer it. Now, one thing that I always say, and I'm going to say this again to those who are watching this, do not copy other people. The goal here is not to copy what other people are doing. The goal here is to get inspiration and then make it your own, put in your own tone, your own words, your own imagery. We have AI now, and I use ChatGPT for a lot of these things. But we have AI to make things in our own voice, in our own tone. And the reason why I say that is, for one, it's disrespectful to the original creators, of course. Two, it's content stealing, so it's obviously bad. And three, Facebook algorithm, it's smart enough to know when there's duplicate content. So if you take other people's content and pass it off as your own, Facebook knows, and you're not going to get the outcome that you're looking for. So it's just wasting your time. So that's why I want to make sure that when you're looking at this with me, that you understand that we are not stealing content. We are using this to build some inspiration. Now, you want to know exactly what type of content pays the most. Well, when it comes to a theme page, we're looking at 3 major things. We're looking at what's called Reels, which is basically videos. We're also looking at photos, which people affectionately call them memes. And the third thing is text posts. So those are the 3 main drivers when it comes to posting on your Facebook theme page. Now, what makes me the most money? Well, to be honest, photos or memes. Memes are basically anything that you post here. You can see a bunch of different types of memes here. And they are quick, easy to digest, but they tend to spark the most engagement. When it comes to memes, you have an opportunity to put quotes, you have an opportunity to put related news within your niche. You're able to put things here that is going viral elsewhere, and so you could take that and craft it into your own voice and post it on your page. So taking a look at a few of these here, you can kind of get an idea as to what works and what doesn't work. Now, I have to tell you this. When you're running your theme page, and this is from my experience, not every single post is going to fly, okay? In fact, the majority of posts that you make per day doesn't fly. What usually happens is when you set a certain amount of posts per day, you get maybe 1, 2, or probably 3 posts that take off, depending on how many you're posting. So let's say, for instance, you're doing about 5 to 6 or 10 posts per day. Typically when you start building that momentum, about 2 maybe or 3 at most will take off, and all the other ones will kind of fall flat. Now, if that happens to you, don't get concerned, don't be upset. because it happens to all of us. That's just how it is. Okay. Some posts fly off, but they're usually what's called the outliers. Okay. Those are the ones that they do take off, and most of the other ones don't. So as long as you're posting consistently, you really don't have to worry because you're going to hit those posts that do take off as long as you remain consistent. All right, so that's why when you see here, I'm going to show you some of these that work and some of these that don't. Okay, and this is a page that has over 700,000 followers. This is a strong theme page, but even when you look at it, you'll see that the comments, they're in the single digits, the shares are in the single digits, the likes more. So there's more so of that. But here's the thing. Facebook values content like this, okay? In terms of weakest to strongest metrics of engagement, they look at likes, like these thumbs up, like whether it's like, love, care, all this stuff. They look at those as the least amounts of engagement. Like it's the least, like in terms of monetization, they pay the least amount for the likes. So typically you get way more likes than anything. And so the value of those are the least of them. Second up is comments. Okay, comments they pay more than they do for likes because it takes a person more time on your post to write out a thought. Okay, so when they write out stuff on your posts, Facebook values that higher than they do for the likes. The next level is the shares. The shares is the highest value, well, second highest value, but they're higher than comments and they're higher than likes. Okay, so you'll notice sometimes that you'll get the most likes, you'll get decent amount of comments, but then you'll get very few amounts of shares, and that's exactly how Facebook values it. So the shares are the second highest value. I'll tell you the first in a moment. Um, but the reason why shares is rated higher in value than comments and likes is because shares helps expand the message beyond your own audience. Basically, what that means is somebody identifies and resonates with your post so strongly that they have to share it with their own audience. And so that is way more powerful than all the other metrics. Comments is really good because it forces the person to take more time on your post and writing out their thoughts. And then it takes nothing at all for someone to just drop a like. You know what I'm saying? So that's really nothing. But shares is the second highest metric. Now, what is the first highest metric? The first highest, you don't even see it here, but the first highest is saves. Now, I'm not sure how to do it from a desktop app here. Maybe, yeah, here we go. So you see, it kind of takes more for you to do the save thing. You have to click on these three buttons, and of course, it's easier to do that on mobile device. But you click on these three buttons, you click Save Post, and now this saves this to your section of saved content. So for someone to do that, normally you get the least amount of saves. It's more friction to get there, first of all. Second of all, this is when someone saves a post, it's the type of content that they resonate so strongly that not only will they share it with their audience, but they want to see it again and again and again. They want it saved so that they can keep revisiting that content. That is the highest metric when it comes to content that or actions or engagement for Facebook posts. So you'll see, if we scroll through, all this stuff here, you'll see that there are some outliers. I'm trying to find one in particular. But yeah, so let's say the one that was like over 50 shares, that was so far an outlier compared to the other content. Um, but as I said, uh, memes or pictures, that is my driver of mostly of what I earn from Facebook. I post 80 to 90% of my content is all just images. And that works for me. Other people, it's not that way, but that's how I trained the algorithm for me. It's mostly images, mostly memes. And the reason for that, as I shared before, is that memes typically are the type of content that they gain the most amount of engagement. Now, if we were to look at reels or videos, let's take a look at these. Reels normally get the most amount of reach, the most amount of impressions, the most amount of views. Um, Unfortunately, the trade-off is they typically don't get the most amount of engagement. So it's a good idea to create a strategy where you're posting, what I tend to do is 80 to 90% of my content is memes or photos, and then 10 to 20% of it is reels. So I consider the reels my driver for increasing reach and views, and I consider my photos or memes for the engagement part of it. And that sort of strategy is what's helping me to get those 4 figures per month. Now, what about text posts? Well, with text posts, Facebook typically monetize text posts the least. So, in terms of value, what Facebook likes to pay, and this, I'll get into another video about this, but with in terms of how Facebook values not only the likes, comments, shares, and saves, but in terms of the type of content, period, Facebook typically values or pays the most for reels first, even though they get the most reach and least amount of engagement. They value the reels the most. And then second is the memes, the photos. They pay the second highest amount for that. And then the least amount is the text posts. Now, does that mean you should never post text posts? No. There's a whole thing, I'll get into this, but to put it all in a nutshell, text post is a good way to see what works, to put a test out there and see if something resonates. Now, if something does resonate with your text post, the next step is to take that and convert it into a photo post or a meme and see if that works there. Now, if it still works, take that, convert it into a reel or a video. And if it works there, you got a winning strategy for whatever that topic is. Take that, refresh it, and keep posting it, because then you've hit a nerve that is actually working for you. Okay, so yeah, we don't really have to look at these reels, but just to give you an idea, I want to just kind of turn off the volume here. You see, there's even less amount of engagement here, but that's kind of the trade-off. Facebook values the reels and gives more reach to the reels, and you don't really. Oh, this one actually did pretty well. Over 1,000 likes, 68 comments, and 81 shares. This is what you would consider to be an outlier. So you take what made this work. You see, they posted about Joel chapter 2, verse 26. God will provide and you will never be put to shame. What did they write for the caption? Well, there's some links to promote themselves, but very simple. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Now, in another video, we'll talk about hooks. We'll talk about things that can help you really grab people's attention. But just take a look at this in your time. And once again, I do want to stress, and this one did pretty decent too. And then you see they have an actual video of a person preaching. You want to make sure that you don't take copyrighted content. Make sure to not to do that. But we'll just stop here. But yeah, this is pretty much everything for this video that I want to share with you. But I hope by now you understand the different types of posts, from text to memes to reels, what Facebook values each in, and how Facebook values the type of engagement for each. So understanding that, I hope you have a good idea on what works and how you can build your Facebook theme page to 4 figures per month just like me. Alright, so that's all I got for you now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and once again I have to invite you to please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoy this type of content so I can teach you more of it as I go through this in my own journey. And hit that subscribe button and bell notification so that you can be updated whenever I post another video teaching you more about scaling a Facebook theme page. And with that, everybody, I'll see y'all in the next video. It's your boy Jason, the Bargain Rapper. Much love, God bless, and as always, you know how to do it, yo. Peace.